Hey, oh my goodness. I didn't even put a thing in the caption. Hold on. Oh, wow. Hey, good evening, millionaires, good evening, millionaires. Hey, good evening, millionaires, good evening, good evening. Welcome to yet another edition of Good Evening Millionaire. I'm so excited to be here with you guys this evening. And I also hope that everybody is having an amazing day. My name is Nancy. I go by AmmaTheCPA, right? Which stands for Certified Public Accountant, which means that I'm certified to help the public, okay, when it comes to different accounting needs. So good evening. Welcome to yet another edition of Good Evening Millionaire. Do me a favor, go ahead, put in the comments like good evening millionaire. Let us know where you're calling in from or where you are watching the broadcast from. I don't know why it looks so dark. Maybe I open these curtains. Let us know. So put in the comments like good evening millionaire and say good evening millionaire Chicago, good evening millionaire Atlanta, or wherever it is that you're calling in from. It's always good to be in touch with our millionaire minded family throughout the nation. So good evening millionaires. And yes, I am wearing a whole turtleneck on April 4th. Okay, I'm gonna post a picture a little bit later. Not only is it cold, it is snowing and it is extremely windy to the point where like this street, it's a whole street light knocked down in front of, well, not in front of my house, but on the main street over on King Drive, which I thought was crazy. And I took a picture of it this morning on my way back from the gym. But good morning, millionaires. Good morning. Good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. So go ahead, greet everybody. Let us know where you're calling in from. Make sure that you share the broadcast not only on your personal page, but also in different groups that you're in. Tonight, we're talking about your W-4 and why you should never, ever claim exempt. I've been getting a lot of requests for the actual W-4 video. I'm going to try to find it on my page and then post it so it'll be easier to find, or like, put something in the comments, something like that. If somebody has seen it recently, that would be awesome. If you just put in the comments like, here it is. Because by me doing videos like every single day, some of you guys know we're here 5 days a week, right? It's difficult for even me to find my own videos. It's so crazy. But they will be on YouTube shortly. They actually sync to YouTube, but I have to go and like put the keywords and all that good stuff and actually publish them. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer than I anticipated. But they'll be all up there shortly. So good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. Okay, so make sure you share the broadcast. So listen, another thing, it's not important to me like how you make your money, what type of business you're in, what type of job you have and stuff like that. It's just important to me what you do with it, and that's your life, millionaire. So that's the purpose of these videos. I totally believe each one teach one. We can change the world, but we have to help each other. I've been blessed with this gift to kind of understand this stuff, right? Understand the stuff that they don't teach us in school and all that good stuff. So I feel like it is my duty to help everybody understand this stuff and at least stop living like pillar to pillar and paycheck to paycheck and post to post and all that good stuff. So if we can get out of that, then we can start growing and really, taking back our communities and leaving more of a legacy for our children. A lot of people, and not to be on my soapbox, but whatever, a lot of other races, like they leave stuff for their kids. We don't leave anything. A lot of times we don't leave anything for our kids. So we have to get into a position where We can leave some property, leave some land, leave some businesses, etc., etc. So that's the ultimate goal. So good evening, millionaire. So go ahead, share the broadcast. And listen, claiming exempt, you ain't going to be able to leave nothing. Okay? So you never ever want to claim exempt, and here is why. So first off, give me a number 1 and a share. Give me a number 1 and a share. Good evening, millionaires. Give me a number 1 and a share. Okay. Number 1 is, first off, let's even talk about what is exempt, and make sure that you guys are sharing the broadcast, okay? And also, while I'm thinking about it, put in the comments, do me a favor, put in the comments how everybody can join Dear Millionaire, the world's first free text message service on personal growth and self-development. It's actually in the caption that's in the, the header of the video. But if you, if you can post it, that would be awesome. Okay, so give me a number 1 and a share. Give me a number 1 and a share. So put a number 1 in the comments and then share the broadcast. So number 1, who is exempt? Okay, because you get your W-4. Now, a lot of times what people like to do is they say, okay, well, if I work overtime, I'm going to claim exempt so I can get all my money. Okay, some people know that bonuses are taxed at a higher rate if your company actually reports them as a bonus, which most companies do. But just when I was an auditor, we didn't, because we understood the tax game. So my boss when I was the auditor never reported our bonuses as bonuses, right? Because then it gets taxed at like 25-30% or something crazy regardless. And then you can get it back. But anyway, that's not this video. Okay, so so what is exempt? So you know how you fill out your W-4 and basically it's telling the IRS, it's telling your employer how much to withhold from your paycheck to send to the IRS. So most people will say, put a number 1. You got 1 kid, put a number 1. You got 2 kids, put a number 2. That's completely incorrect. So definitely go scroll through. Or you can actually search on Facebook as well. Just search through my videos and you'll see like the 2018 W-4. So you guys can kind of know how to fill that out correctly. But a lot of times what people will do, especially when they know they have more money coming in, then they'll claim exempt. Or they'll say like, even if they are like just too tight on their finances, they're like, man, I'm going to just claim exempt, get all my money right now, and then deal with it later on the back end. And here is why you do not want to do that. Okay, so who is exempt? What is exempt? Exempt means that you are exempt from paying federal income tax. Now, it's not a lot of people that are exempt, okay? Now, I'm not talking about how some people are claiming solvency and all that stuff like that. That is not this. I mean, people that are saying that they are actually exempt from income tax, okay? So in order for you to be exempt, that means you have to have 2 things. So the first thing is that you have to have had no income tax owed last year, no income tax due, which means now a lot of people get this misconstrued, and let me explain it. And I'm taking a little bit of time on this part because it's really important. A lot of people get it misconstrued because what they think is that, oh, I got a refund, I didn't pay nothing in taxes. Yes, you did. Because what happens is, if you look at your tax return, especially now, like it's still tax season, you look at your tax return, you'll see on page 2, the taxes that was paid in and the taxes that were actually due. The difference is the refund. Okay, so just because you get a refund does not mean that you did not owe any taxes. That's not what that means. That means that you overpaid the taxes that you did owe. Okay, so if you owe $2,000 and you actually paid in $4,000, now you got a $2,000 refund. And a lot of times people will say like, man, I ain't owe nothing in taxes. But yes, you did. So that means that you do not qualify for exempt. So you have to have had 0 liability last year and then plus 0 liability this year, meaning like you do not owe at all. Okay, you don't have to pay not 1 red penny in income tax. Okay, that's what exempt means. Now, number 2, give me a number 2 and a share. Give me a number 2 and a share. Good evening, millionaires, and welcome to the broadcast. If you are just now joining us, welcome to yet another edition of Good Evening Millionaire. Go ahead, share it. Make sharing is caring. Okay, so make sure that you're sharing not only on your personal page, but also in different groups that you are in. If you're just joining the broadcast altogether, welcome to the replay. And you still make sure you share it too, and then put everything in the comments, okay? Okay, so number 2. So who's exempt? So now we just went over like what exempt actually means. Now I'm checking to see if y'all sharing because I can't see from my computer. Okay, so who is okay, we got some shares. Good evening, millionaires. I appreciate you guys. Okay, so who is exempt? So who's exempt? Now we just went over what actually exempt means. Okay, so who is exempt? Exempt is really like college kids and people that live with other people maybe. Maybe you're not in college, maybe you just live with somebody and you don't make that much money and they are like totally taking care of you. Maybe you work not the full year, maybe you work sometimes and stuff like that, and the person that you live with is literally supporting you. Like if you did not live with them, you would be homeless. Think about it like that. Because think about like college kids and kids, period, right? Now they may have a job at wherever, Chick-fil-A. You know, my nephew was working at Chick-fil-A. He had a job at Amtrak. My big nephew, my oldest nephew, was working for like FedEx. Now these are also full-time jobs for people as well. But I'm just saying, my nephews are older. They had really decent jobs, but at the same time, they are in college and the money that they were earning was not enough for them to actually support themselves. So they were making like they're spending money, okay? Maybe they were working 20 hours, 30 hours a week, something like that, whatever. Their moms and dads, my brother, my brother, was really like taking care, my sister-in-law and my brother were really taking care of them and supporting them. So it's like you can't, if somebody is actually supporting you, that's the better way to put it, okay? If somebody is supporting you, then you are exempt, which means that yes, maybe you have a job, maybe you have some money in your pocket, but can you pay everything on your own? If the answer is no and somebody is supporting you, and more importantly, according to the IRS, if somebody is paying more than 50% of your upkeep, also if that person is claiming you as a dependent. So if you are legally not allowed your own dependency, right? Like you can't even claim yourself because you know that somebody is taking care of you, then you're exempt. So if that is not you, and I'm just really breaking this down because I know that a lot of times adults, adults are like, oh, I'm going to claim exempt and stuff like that. And it's like, you are not exempt because you are taking care of yourself. Like you're claiming your own dependency and stuff like that. So that's technically like against the law. Okay. So give me a number 3 and a share. Give me a number 3 and a share. Good evening, millionaires. Give me a number 3 and a share. So I kind of led right into it, right? It's against the law. Here's the thing. If you, at the end of the tax year, if you owe a certain amount, like after you file your taxes and you did not pay anything, you can receive an underpayment penalty. Okay, you can totally receive an underpayment penalty, which means that you were supposed to pay this money throughout the year. The government is relying on it. Think about it like this, who's taking care of like the streets? Who's taking care of the police? The police department, the fire department, all this stuff that we use, the street lights, the highways, all this stuff that we use that our tax dollars go for, who's taking care of that? And the government is relying on this money. Okay, so if you legally don't owe, which we'll get to at the end, if you legally don't owe anything, then it's like, okay, you just don't owe, right? But if you actually owe, then it's like, who's paying for that? So they get very upset. So what can happen is you have an underpayment penalty. So if you pay too little in taxes, and don't quote me, I'm not even gonna try to quote the amount because it's like totally slipping my brain right now. But if you pay too little in taxes to what you actually owe, then you can receive a penalty, an underpayment penalty, plus you still have to pay the amount that you owe. Okay, this is very, very serious, and a lot of times people don't realize this, and sometimes this is why people end up filing their taxes and then they really don't submit it, and then they're like, I'm not filing, and then next thing you know, they come to like somebody like me and they're like, okay, I ain't filed for 5 years. And it's like, right, because you knew you messed up, you got scared, and then you didn't want to file, you didn't have the money, but not filing is not going to help you, okay? Because that's just only making it worse, because now you're going to have penalty and interest. Now you have your underpayment penalty for not paying throughout the year. Secondly, you're going to have your penalty for not paying by the deadline, which is coming up April 15th, okay? Wait, this is going to be like the 16th this year. And I'm going to be in New Orleans. If anybody wants to come to a training, yes, an amazing, amazing training that we're having for myself and a bunch of other leaders. We're having a training in New Orleans next weekend. Let me know if you want to come. If you're definitely millionaire minded, then you need to be there in the building. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll learn some really, really good stuff. And plus, it's going to be the French Quarter Festival. So I'm so looking forward to that. Last time I was in New Orleans, I was like very, very young and on a college tour. So I didn't get to do much. So it's going to be very, very fun. But back to, but let me know if you guys want to come. So I can get you some, I'll let you know where you can get your tickets and all that good stuff. So back to where I was. Right? At the end of the tax, like if you don't pay by the end, when the money is due, April 15th is normally the deadline, but if it falls on the weekend, it's going to be that following Monday. So it's going to be April 16th this year. So recap, you have your penalty for not paying enough in federal income taxes throughout the year. Then you have your penalty if you don't pay everything you owe by April 15th, right? Then you're going to have interest for every single day that you don't pay it after the 15th when it's due. A lot of times people like rush and file their taxes and stuff like that. And it's cool that you rush and file your taxes, right, to get it off your plate and clear your mind. But you really want to file your taxes, especially if you owe, because they are going to charge you penalty and interest and you don't want to pay that. So all of that was for number 3, millionaires. Okay, so number 4, give me a number 4 and a share, and we are almost out of here. Give me a number 4 and a share. It's a gamble, and who wants to gamble with their livelihood? Listen, when I say the IRS does not play, they don't play. And I'm always on the right side of the IRS, and I'm definitely proud of that. My daddy is retired from the IRS. I always say that. And that's just a little fun fact. He was one of, those auditors that you did not want to see coming. And when I used to audit, I was the auditor that you wanted to see coming. Because I was the auditor, not for the IRS, but for a private company where they would request us to come in to certify their financials so they could get extra funding and stuff like that and actually grow their business. So they wanted us to come in. They wanted to be helpful. Even though my daddy was helpful, he was not the one that they necessarily wanted to see. So it's they don't play, so it's really a gamble, because you're like, okay, I'm gonna switch it to I'm gonna file exempt for 2 months, and then I'm gonna claim then I'm gonna go back to 2, and then I'm gonna go back to 4, you know, and it's like you're kind of back and forth and playing with it, but just know, millionaires, like you're playing with your life, you're gambling with your life. At the end of the day, if you don't have the money now, what makes you think you're gonna have it in April when it's time to, April 15th, when it's time to file and pay, right? You may not have it. So you don't want to even take that risk, and just do the right thing all the time, and it'll work out, okay, millionaires? But definitely let me know if you guys need help with anything. I'm always here to help. I'm going to try to find the video. If anybody found the video, just put something in the comments like, here it is, and then it'll boost it back up to the top so everybody can see it. And then last and definitely not least, number 5, millionaires, is there is a better way. Okay, there's totally a better way. Like how I just said, you know, we're going to New Orleans, but it's a business trip, right? It's a business trip, which means it's a tax write-off, which means that it's a legal way for you to reduce your income taxes. Okay, but you have to do it legally, and you know, it's part of, you have to do it legally, right? So if you have any questions, and the way that I do it is it's part of my business, because it's a training. So anything like that, you can also ask me any type of questions you have about the business and stuff like that, and how you can legally reduce your tax liability so that you can maybe not claim exempt, but maybe you can claim way more than 1 or 2, okay? And I can show you how to do that just from setting up a business. So feel free to reach out to me, or of course one of my amazing business partners. And I will see you, beautiful, beautiful millionaires, tomorrow, when I am talking about, Schedule C and how a home-based business helps you. So this is really getting good, millionaires. So not only now, we just went over why you don't want to file exempt, especially it's like you need money now, you're going to need it later too. So you can't be playing with the IRS, because you do not want them to Ron Isley you, or Wesley Snipes you, or Jermaine Dupri you, or DMX you. You guys get my point. All right, millionaires, let me get out of here. Have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, check us out in the morning for a Good Morning Millionaire. If somebody could put in the comments how they can join Dear Millionaire and get the notifications for Good Morning Millionaire. It's every single morning, 7 days a week. Make sure that you guys check that out. And then also make sure you check out AmmaTheCPA.com, where you can subscribe to a free video series on increasing your cash flow, or you can request a free financial consultation with yours truly, AmmaTheCPA, your favorite CPA's favorite CPA. Good evening, millionaire.